God has been trying to reach you for the last 48 hours. This message is not a coincidence. It's his answer to the prayers you've been.
Life has a way of pressing down on us with a weight that feels unbearable, and sometimes we carry those invisible burdens so quietly that no one around us even notices. Yet, in the silence of your heart, in the late hours of the night when the world grows still and the noise fades away, there is a whisper that keeps tugging at your spirit, a gentle nudge you may have dismissed as just a thought or a feeling, but in reality, it has been God trying to get your attention, trying to send you a message for the last 48 hours, reminding you that what you are walking through right now is not meant to break you, but to shape you, to refine you, and to prepare you for blessings you cannot yet imagine. Sometimes we are so focused on our struggles, our financial worries, our health battles, our family concerns, our broken relationships, or the uncertainty of tomorrow, that we fail to recognize the divine interruptions, those small yet powerful ways God speaks into our lives, through a conversation with a stranger, through a verse that suddenly becomes alive, through a song on the radio that feels like it was written just for you, through the stillness of prayer when you finally let your tears fall. And in all these ways, He has been trying to send you a message that you are not alone, that He has not forgotten you, that even though your circumstances may appear overwhelming, His hand is still over your life, guiding you, protecting you, and paving the way forward. For the last 48 hours, God has been urging you to slow down and listen, to stop drowning in your own thoughts long enough to hear the truth He has been speaking, that your pain has purpose, that your setbacks are setups for something greater, and that your tears are not wasted, because every one of them has been counted and stored in His presence, waiting for the day when joy will replace sorrow and laughter will return to your soul. You may have noticed that in the past 2 days, your spirit has felt restless. Perhaps you've been unusually emotional, easily moved by small things. Perhaps you've felt exhausted even without reason. Or maybe you have been unable to shake off certain thoughts about your future. And this is no accident, because God has been stirring something inside of you, pressing on your heart, knocking on the door of your soul, reminding you that the season you are in is not permanent, and that His timing, though often difficult to understand, is always perfect, always aligned with your ultimate good, and always aimed at bringing you closer to Him. When God tries to send you a message, it does not always arrive in thunder or lightning. Sometimes it comes quietly, like the sunrise spreading its light across a dark sky. Sometimes it comes through difficulties that strip away what is unnecessary, so that you can finally see what truly matters. Sometimes His message comes in the form of closed doors that frustrate you, only to later reveal that those doors were never meant to open because what lies behind them would have harmed you. And sometimes His message comes through encouragement that appears at just the right time, like these very words reaching you now, reminding you that He has been pursuing your heart and sending you reassurance that your story is not finished. For the last 48 hours, heaven has been moving on your behalf, aligning circumstances, shifting energies, and creating pathways that you cannot yet see. And while you may be anxious and uncertain, God is reminding you that faith is not about seeing everything clearly, but about trusting Him when you cannot see, believing in His promises when your present reality looks opposite to what He declared, and holding on to His hand even when the storm is raging around you. Think about this. Why do you feel compelled to read this message at this exact moment? Out of countless distractions, out of endless scrolling, why did you pause here? Why did you open your heart, even just a little, to these words? It is because God orchestrated it.
He has been trying to catch your attention for the last 2 days, and now you are here, and His Spirit is whispering to you, saying, "My child, I see you. I know what you are going through. I understand the fears you hide from others. I have counted every sigh and every sleepless night, and I am here to tell you that your breakthrough is coming. Your healing is near. Your financial restoration is on the horizon. Your family will see light again, and your future will shine brighter than your past."
He wants you to understand that everything happening around you is not random. The battles you're facing are not meaningless. The delays are not punishments. They are lessons and redirections meant to align you with His divine will. And though the last 48 hours may have felt heavy, though you may have questioned whether you have the strength to keep moving forward, His message is that you are closer to your breakthrough than you realize. And this is why you cannot give up now. You cannot let despair take root. You cannot let fear blind you. For His promises are faithful, and His word will never return empty. Remember this: storms do not last forever. Trials are temporary. Suffering has an expiration date. And even though you have been praying for answers and wondering why nothing seems to change, God is working behind the scenes, orchestrating miracles, arranging divine encounters, and preparing blessings that will exceed your expectations. Because He is the God who turns mourning into dancing, ashes into beauty, despair into hope, and impossibilities into testimonies. This message He has been trying to send you for the last 48 hours is simple yet profound. Do not lose hope. Do not quit. Do not give in to the voices of doubt, but instead anchor your heart in Him. Trust His timing. Rest in His presence, and believe that your story is still unfolding, and the best chapters are yet to be written. Chapters filled with answered prayers, renewed health, restored relationships, financial provision, peace in your home, joy in your heart, and strength for every step you must take. So today, as you read these words, let them sink into your spirit like healing rain. Let them remind you that you are seen, you are loved, you are chosen, you are not abandoned, and you are destined for greater things. And though the road may be rough and the journey long, God is with you every step of the way, carrying you when you are weak, guiding you when you are lost, and lifting you higher when you fall. Hold on to this truth. The message God has been trying to send you for the last 48 hours is not just a random encouragement. It is His divine reminder that you are at the edge of something new, something powerful, something life-changing. And if you stay faithful, if you keep believing, if you continue to trust Him, you will soon look back on these days and realize that what once felt like an unbearable storm was actually the preparation for a season of blessings so abundant that your only response will be gratitude, praise, and awe at how faithful He has been.
And so, my beloved friend, as you sit here with these words before you, I want you to open your heart wide enough to grasp this truth, that for the last 48 hours, the very Creator of the heavens and the earth, the one who holds galaxies in His hands, yet knows the number of hairs on your head, has been speaking directly to your spirit, knocking gently at the doors of your mind, reminding you that what you see with your eyes is not the full picture, that the storm surrounding you is only temporary, and that your tomorrow holds far more light, peace, and restoration than the night you are walking through now could ever threaten to take away. Consider how often in these past 2 days you have felt those strange moments of pause, when suddenly you were made aware of your own thoughts, when suddenly the world around you felt quieter than usual, when suddenly a feeling of both heaviness and longing pressed upon your soul. Do you understand that these were not random feelings? These were divine signals, subtle invitations from God Himself urging you to stop, to breathe, to lean into Him, to trust that His Spirit is whispering guidance, and to believe that what is unsettled today is already being settled by His hands in ways you cannot yet comprehend. God's message is not complicated, though at times it feels hidden. His message is consistent, though at times it feels delayed. His message is this, that your life is not without purpose, your struggles are not without meaning, and your journey is not without direction. And the reason he has been trying so hard to reach you in these last 48 hours is because he knows the weight you are carrying. He knows the tears you have been wiping in silence. He knows the prayers you have whispered that no one else heard, and he wants you to understand that he has heard every single one of them, and not a word has been lost, not a cry has gone unnoticed, and not a sigh has been ignored, because he is a father who sees, who listens, and who cares deeply for his children. If you could see the way heaven moves when you pray, if you could see how the angels surround you when you call upon his name, if you could see how your prayers rise like incense before his throne, then you would not doubt for a second that even in your lowest moments, God has been active, alive, and present in your life, weaving together miracles and aligning opportunities that will soon burst forth into your reality like dawn after the longest night. And that is why this very moment, this very message is no accident. You were meant to hear it. You were meant to be reminded that your story is still unfolding and the author has not finished writing. For the last 48 hours, God has been sending you reminders through the little things, through the person who unexpectedly encouraged you, through the scripture that suddenly felt alive, through the memory that returned to your heart, through the way you woke up with strength even though you went to bed weary, through the way the world around you seemed to whisper hope even when you were drowning in doubt. And all of this has been his hand, his way of saying, I am here, I am still working, I am still providing, I am still protecting, I am still healing, I am still guiding, and I will never let you go. You see, my friend, God knows how fragile the human heart can be, how easily discouragement can creep in, how quickly fear can paralyze faith, how often we mistake silence for absence. And so he has been pouring out these reminders day after day, because he wants you to remember that he is not just the God of your mountaintops, he is also the God of your valleys. He is not only the God of your victories, but also the God of your struggles. He is not just with you when life is bright and easy, but also when it is dark and confusing. And his presence does not fade when your hope wavers, because his love is constant, unconditional, and everlasting. And perhaps the reason he has pressed this message so strongly upon your life in these last 48 hours is because you are closer to a breakthrough than you realize, closer to a season of blessing than you can yet imagine, closer to the fulfillment of promises than your eyes can see. And so the enemy has been trying to distract you with fear, with weariness, with anxiety, with hopelessness. But God is stepping in, raising his voice, and declaring that your breakthrough is at hand, your blessing is near, your prayers are being answered, your healing is unfolding, and your victory is on its way. So hold on, hold firm, hold steady, and do not let go of the faith that has carried you this far. Because, beloved, if you could see what heaven has been preparing for you, if you could see the blessings that are already in motion, if you could see the miracles that are already on their way to your doorstep, if you could see the abundance that has already been set aside for your life, you would not spend another moment doubting or fearing or despairing. You would instead lift your head high, straighten your shoulders, and walk forward with the confidence that comes only from knowing that the God who promised is faithful to fulfill, that the God who began a good work in you will see it through to completion, and that the God who loves you is not finished with your story yet.
And now, as you sit in the quiet of this moment,
Reflect on the truth that every struggle you have endured has been shaping you. Every unanswered prayer has been preparing you. Every delay has been protecting you. And every closed door has been redirecting you. For the last 48 hours, God has been whispering into your life not to give up, not to let go, not to assume that silence means abandonment, but to realize that silence often means He is working behind the scenes, arranging circumstances in ways you cannot see, moving pieces like a master craftsman, building something so much greater than you could ever construct with your limited strength and understanding. Sometimes when God sends a message, it is not to tell you that everything will instantly change, but rather to remind you that everything is already under His control. And He has been impressing this truth upon your heart these last 2 days because He knows how tired you are. He knows how close you've come to breaking. He knows how often the thought of giving up has crossed your mind. And yet He has preserved you, strengthened you, sustained you, and carried you, proving that your survival up to this point is not by accident, but by divine appointment. Because there is still a mission for you, still a blessing waiting for you, still a future bright with promise that only He can bring to pass. For the last 48 hours, the Spirit of God has been reaching toward you, urging you to shift your focus from what is broken to what is being healed, from what is lost to what is being restored, from what has ended to what is about to begin. And though your human eyes may only see struggle, lack, and difficulty, your spiritual eyes, if you allow them to open, will begin to see hope, provision, and abundance. Because His Word declares that faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. And so your task in this moment is not to figure everything out, but to trust the One who already has everything worked out. Think about the timing. Why this message? Why now? Why in these very hours has God been impressing upon your heart to pay attention? The answer is simple yet profound. Because you are entering a turning point, a divine shift, a season where what has been heavy will grow lighter. What has been blocked will suddenly open. What has been delayed will finally arrive, and what has been broken will begin to heal. And He did not want you to miss it. He did not want you to step into doubt just before your breakthrough. He did not want you to let go when the finish line was just ahead. And so He sent you this reminder, this confirmation, this message to say, "Hold on, my child, because you are closer than you think." Over the past 48 hours, you may have been battling thoughts that whispered lies, that you are alone, that nothing will change, that your prayers don't matter, that your struggles define you. But God is declaring the opposite. He is declaring that you are never alone, for He is with you always, even to the end of the age. He is declaring that change is already underway, even if your eyes don't see it yet. He is declaring that your prayers have moved heaven and angels have been dispatched to fight for you. He is declaring that your struggles do not define you, but refine you, shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and ready to carry the blessings that are about to be poured into your life. Beloved, let your heart be encouraged, for the message He has been sending these last 48 hours is one of reassurance and promise. A message that your pain is temporary, but your purpose is eternal. That your suffering has a limit, but His grace is limitless. That your troubles may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning, and the morning is nearer than you think. And though the darkness has felt long and the nights have been sleepless, there is a dawn rising over your life, a dawn filled with peace, restoration, and blessings that will leave you in awe of how faithful your God has always been. Remember this and let it sink deep into your soul. Nothing in your life has been wasted, not the tears, not the disappointments, not the setbacks, not the unanswered questions, for God has been weaving all of it into the tapestry of your destiny. And when the right moment arrives, and it is arriving soon, you will see how every piece fits, how every valley led to a mountain, how every wound gave birth to wisdom, and how every trial prepared you for triumph. And then you will understand why he has been trying to send you this message for the last 48 hours. Because he wanted you to hold on long enough to witness his promises fulfilled.